Do you believe that shit? Austin there, he doesn't tell anybody he's in the hospital. Secretary of Defense. He's a Secretary of Defense, for Christ's sakes. Yeah, but he goes to the hospital and tell anybody. Are you kidding? What if somebody let loose a small nuke to Israel? He's in the hospital, nobody took his place. What the fuck is it with these people? They're insane. Jesus, they're nuts, aren't they? All right, let me get this to report.
When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grande has some sound reasons you should join Phil's gang.
You know, when I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com. You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Our team is comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. Phil's Gang has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. You don't need to be a seasoned investor to benefit from the Phil's Gang platform, no matter what level of investor you are. Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action, avoid market pitfalls, and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. These are volatile times in the stock market.
Market's up 200, then it's up 800, it's up 700.
How do you get the facts when investing?
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. If you're confused about the stock market, get unconfused. Go to my site, philsgang.com, and listen to my radio show every weekday at 3 Eastern. What is the market going to do? We know exactly what the market's going to do.
Phil's got the answers at philsgang.com.
There's no need for you to be losing money.
Check it out. philsgang.com. The holiday season is a wonderful time to be with family and friends, and a good time to learn how to improve your investing strategies in the new year. Phil Grande and philsgang.com can help. Join Phil's Gang and enjoy coffee talk, as Phil goes over the markets every morning before they open. Engage in live trading classes. With the Working Investor Program, you'll have access to the tools to control your financial future. Success in the new year is just a click away. The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
When the president got into the White House, we all know that the economy was at a tailspin, and the president came in and had to fix that because obviously the last administration did not have a comprehensive plan. And so we had to come in and do that. So what the president has done to make sure that the economy gets back on its feet.
Down also,
and gas by $1.77 since its peak. Remember, Putin's war caused gas prices to go up.
Catherine,
and
you said a lot of nonsense accompanied with persuasive hand gestures to appear credible. So let's go through this one by one. 90% of the jobs that Biden created were jobs recovered from the pandemic. The economy is not even close to where it was under Trump. Gas prices rose before the Ukraine war, thanks to Biden restricting domestic energy production. Then y'all went on a Putin price hike to mislead the people. So Biden didn't fix anything, and I'm glad this is not a White House press conference, and you can't just get away with the just spewed.
Unfortunately, that didn't happen. What she said, the press secretary, was absolutely true. That's what she said on The View. And what this guy did is he just cut it. It was like he was answering her. He was challenging her. But he wasn't on The View at the time, unfortunately. But it brings up a great point. Wouldn't it be great that when she lies like that someone would come on and say something like that? But they would never let somebody on that program to challenge her. Unbelievable. You know, it's just like, it's always been amazing to me that when we started this whole rally from 2008 to 2022 of January, that's 14 years, where they kept rates down to near zero. Now think about that for a moment. In 2008, they brought rates below 1%. Almost at zero, 0.16, 16th of 1%. Nothing. And for 14 years, when they ended in January 2022, and the S&P was up 590%, and the Qs were up 1,200%, only 19 months out of those 14 years did interest rates get a little bit above 1%. How could they get away with that? That destroyed America. That inflation destroyed your wages, destroyed your savings, destroyed the country. Why do you think presidents, good presidents, why do you think they're so fearful of inflation? They hate inflation. Any president, any decent president, if you asked them, they would tell you that inflation is the biggest threat to our entire economy, our entire system of government, our national security, more than any war, terrorism, pandemic, anything. But yet, they let it happen from 2008 to 2022 for 14 years. And we're going to pay dearly for it. But how could they get away with that? How come there wasn't busloads of people going down to Washington saying, wait a minute, you're killing me. This inflation, because look what you're doing by printing all this money and going and buying 10-year treasuries to bring rates down, and then the Fed brings their rates down. So we're bringing down the 10-year treasury yield, we're bringing down the Fed rate to zero, all for one thing, to give the money to companies at near zero to buy their own shares, called stock buybacks, to push their stock prices up. How'd they get away with that? Well, it's interesting. Remember when, if you go back, there was no such thing as a target rate. This whole crap with a target rate. We didn't have any target rate, this 2% target. We didn't have a 2% target until 2012. Think about that, to 2012. So what happened was, remember, if you go back to this 2%, when in 2012, a reporter asked Bernanke, when he finally introduced the 2% inflation target in 2012, it would be a 2%. The reporter asked, well, wait a minute. The Wall Street Journal reporter asked him, explain something here. Why do we need a 2% 2% inflation target. Why isn't it 2.7 or 1.8 or 3.3? Why 2? What is the science behind that? What's the rationale, the science? Would you answer that, Bernanke, Mr. Bernanke? And then he went on, the same reporter paused and said, also, the lack of evidence that moderately higher inflation and tighter labor market, Mr. Bernanke, would harm American standard of living is not there. In fact, a tighter labor market would improve our standard of living. So please explain to me the 2%. Why is it necessary? Well, his answer was just a bunch of mumbo jumbo. It was you couldn't even understand what he was saying. He was talking about the non-monetary factors that affect the structure and the dynamics of the labor market. In short, he didn't know. He didn't know. See, what Obama and Bernanke did know was the negative consequences of having a 2% target. A target inflation, 2%. They knew the consequences. Because remember where this started. This started in New Zealand. And the consequences of that target, 2%, really hurt New Zealand. It crushed wages and it crushed the free market. Now think about this 2% target. Every time your wages start going up, they pull them back because, we're above 2%. We can't do that. Pull them back. This was an arbitrary, made-up number. And what happened to New Zealand, it destroyed wages. But yet, Obama and Bernanke didn't care. They were going to put it in place. Why? And why in 2012? Especially when Greenspan in 1993 declared inflation in 1993, remember, these inflation targets obsolete. And he had a young protege who wrote a document about QE and stock buybacks. And in there, he also talked about how these inflation targets are obsolete. In 1993, his name was Bernanke. So let's fast forward from 1993 to 2012. So when the economy in 2012, it was already doing pretty well. It was coming out of the Great Recession. Inflation was really only at 2.9%. Now think about that. We had one hell of a recession. Inflation was 2.9%. I would call that a victory. I would call that economic strength, not weakness. What are you, nuts? So why? Why did they do this? We'll talk about that and a whole bunch of stocks when we get back. Join my gang free for 10 days.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. There's nothing better than learning from the experts, especially when it comes to investing your hard-earned money.
Hi, this is Phil Grande, host of Phil's Gang Radio Show. At Phil's Gang and philsgang.com, I have one goal in mind: to help you become a skilled investor in the stock market and find your financial freedom. With the Working Investor Program, you will learn what Wall Street doesn't want you to know. You'll develop skills like selling short and how to profit, even in a stock market crash. This is the real world investing information that will give you the edge to be successful in the stock market. No gimmicks, just real strategies, and I'll make the offer even better with a 10-day free trial of the Working Investor Program.
Once you're in the gang, you're in the know. And with the free 10-day trial of the Working Investor Program, there's no reason not to give it a try.
Become a Phil's Gang member and reclaim your financial freedom. Go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? market goes up 700 points. Next day it goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
What, are you nuts? If the stock market can make you so rich, especially Apple and Microsoft and Google and Amazon and the rest, why are so many Americans poor? If the 401k promises you a retirement, then why is it we are in a retirement crisis? Here's the answer. Because 85% of you get out of the market too late. I fixed that with my color-coded chart, which tells you when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out. That's right, when to run like hell. Check it out. You get a free membership and the free color-coded chart for 10 days. Check it out, philsgang.com.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
Hey folks, Phil Grande from Phil's Gang Radio Show. Are you going to let Wall Street control your financial freedom? Are you nuts? Learn what Wall Street doesn't want you to know, especially how to profit in a stock market crash. I'm offering a 10-day free trial to our Working Investor Program. No nonsense, just actionable insights. Don't miss out. Sign up to be a Phil's Gang member and secure your financial freedom. Visit www.philsgang.com today.
That's philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Phil Grande has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free. If anything, during that 10-day period, you're going to learn how the market really works. You're going to find information that you never had before. You're going to walk away and go, I didn't know that. So join my gang for 10 days free, philsgang.com. And you're also going to learn how to make money when the market goes down. It's kind of silly just sitting there when the market going down, hoping. Why hope when you can sell short and make money? Either way, you make money when the market goes up, you make money when the market goes down. That's the benefit of Phil's Gang. You make money.
Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level.
philsgang.com. Sign up free for 10 days.
Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Join our gang, and the program you'll be involved with is we have 6 stocks. That's our portfolio, 6 stocks, and then besides the 6 stocks, we have a little bonus pool of about 12 stocks. That's it. And those 6 stocks bring in about 75-80% of our profits every year. And those 6 stocks, when you're with us, we guide you through those 6 stocks. In other words, every day we're trading the 6 stocks. So our members can learn. They can piggyback off of us. So by staying with those same six stocks to go long, we tell them when to add, when not to add. We show them why, but we always are leading. We say, okay, here's what we're going to do with this stock today. Okay, tomorrow we'll take a look at it again. Okay, here's what we're going to do with it tomorrow. So that's how you learn, by following a trader and investor with a great deal of experience, not by going to some TV program where they're giving you a hot stock. That's not going to teach you anything. And we also teach you, okay, how to read the market. And that's important. You have to do that through interest rates. Remember, interest rates drive the market. When interest rates go down, tech stocks love that. But when interest rates are high, Same with bank stocks. Bank stocks love high interest rates. So you buy bank stocks when you have high interest rates. You buy tech stocks when you have low interest rates. You can take a look at discretionary stocks. If you're going to buy discretionary stocks, same thing. You know which discretionary stocks to buy if interest rates are high, which ones not to buy. So we teach you that. So you get the basics of how do you know if rates are going to go up or not, because it's all about rates. If rates go up and you're in a stock that don't do well with rates going up, you're going to be okay because you're going to know that. You can adjust your position. That's what we teach. That's every day. You just follow what we're trading, those same stocks. So check it out. It's free for 10 days. What a way to learn. I don't know if anybody else does that. So go to my site, philgangs.com, and click on Get Started. And it's free for 10 days. All right, let's get back to, again, why there is going to be such pain, especially for people who do not know how to sell short. Because remember, the market went up 590%, the S&P, and the NASDAQ went up 1,200% because they rigged the market to be at zero interest rates. How did they do that without getting everybody angry? Because remember, by doing that, they screwed you. And having a target of 2%, inflation target, they screwed you in wages. That's the worst thing they could ever do. But people didn't know the difference. Because, see, they were told QE was going to benefit them. They were told that, look, we're going to come in, the wealthy, we're going to print all this money, give it to the wealthy, they're going to get interest rates at zero, and they're going to take all that money, all these companies, the banks are going to loan it to these companies, and the company CEO is going to take that money, and they're going to buy machinery and equipment, put it in business investment, and we're going to produce more. They'll produce more wages, produce more jobs. We're going to buy all this equipment. And it was a lie. They didn't do any of that. What did they do? They put it into stock buybacks. And it was tremendous inflation. So the reason that people didn't go on the war path and revolt and go to Washington and Congress and bang on the wall and say, wait a minute, what the hell are these guys doing? I'm paying more for this, I'm paying more for that. So they can get rich? Because they sold them a story. Bernanke sold them a story. Now remember this, there was no such thing as an inflation target until 2012. Bernanke and Obama brought it in to screw the public, to screw you on Main Street. They saw what that inflation target in New Zealand did. It took away the free market and destroyed people's wages. Because every time wages would start going up, they go, oh, we got to get it back down to 2%. Look, inflation's going, got to get back down to 2%. Isn't that awful? And that's why your wages aren't keeping up with inflation. So they were able to tell a story that all this money was going to go into the big banks. The big banks were going to save everybody. They're going to give all the money to these corporations. The corporations are going to get money, free money, and they're going to do all this business investment when, in fact, they did nothing by their own stocks, creating more inflation. But people didn't get that. They didn't understand that. Because every time they would come out and all you'd hear is inflation target. Oh my God, look at this. Inflation's going up. We got to target that inflation down. And then who did they blame for the inflation? They blamed the consumer. Saying it was the consumer. He was spending. That was the inflation. And they got away with it. The consumer believed it. Oh, it's me. I'm spending. No wonder there's inflation. I better stop spending. Had nothing to do with you spending. Inflation comes from the government spending more money than they take in. That's what happens. My God. That's where the inflation comes from. And where did it start? The minute that Bernanke got into office. All those programs, he had all these inflationary programs that were horrible. They were terrible. And when he introduced all those inflationary programs, inflation went straight up. And he was giving all this money to these different groups, and it was just crazy. It was crazy. So that's how they got away with it. And you were paying for the rich to get richer. And that target was killing you, your wages. And so now what's happened is this. That inflation target, as inflation's getting worse, what are they going to do? Are they going to get rid of that inflation target? No. They're still talking about it every day. We got to get back to the inflation target. Because, see, that's how the market goes up. The reason they do the inflation target, it's a way to help Wall Street. Because every time, remember what Wall Street wants? Low interest rates. And every time they say, look at the inflation target, 2%, we're over that. We got to get inflation down. That means get interest rates down. And that's how Wall Street gets richer and Main Street gets poorer.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. You can be a successful investor in the stock market by knowing what the market is going to do.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. God, you go nuts listening to these shows on TV, Kramer, any of them. I mean, they're giving you total garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. One day they tell you, buy this stock. Next day, don't buy this stock. Then you have two people on their show. One guy saying buy it, the other guy says don't buy it. So the question is, what the hell do you do? Well, we don't have questions here at Phil's Gang. And they never have to ask the question, what do you think the market's going to do? My members always know what the market's going to do because they've learned how to follow the money. That's right, follow the money. You don't follow fundamentals, you follow the money. And what is that? That's volume. That's the buyers and the sellers. And the other thing, you got to learn how to sell a stock as well as buy a stock.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grande.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Go to my podcast, YouTube, and Rumble every day. That's philsgang.com.
Why are investors listening to Phil Grande at philsgang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? Because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, it's like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com. To be a successful investor, you need to stay current with the daily changes in the economy and the stock market. Phil Grande and philsgang.com can be your guide to becoming a better investor. Try the free 10-day trial at philsgang.com for the working investor. From the opening bell to the closing, stay informed with what's happening in real time. The Working Investor program includes full access to the Phil's Gang website, a morning update on what to look for that day on Wall Street, a market wrap on that day's trading, plus seminars, training, and tools to help you become a better investor. Go to philsgang.com for a free 10-day trial. After that, it's just $59.95 a month for membership, daily updates, training, software, and the best investing advice every day. You can invest with the best. Phil Grande and philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. philsgang.com. Are you a stock market investor without all the information?
What are you, nuts? Market's going up, market's going down. We're getting all this bad information.
How do you invest intelligently? Phil Grande can show you.
If you want real information and you really want to know what the market's going to do and you want the truth, go to my site, philsgang.com, and also listen to me on my radio show every weekday at 3 o'clock Eastern.
Phil's got the answers at philsgang.com.
That's philsgang.com, where you get the truth and you get the information you need about the market.
With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Okay, be very careful. They're trying to push the S&P up to the 481, SPY, 481. That's where it was on January 2022. Right now, the S&P is at I think we're around 474 right now, and they're trying to do anything they can to push it up. And they're using tech stocks to try to push it up, which makes no sense because rates are high, and that's bad for tech stocks. But what are they doing? They're doing the same thing they did between October 2022 and July 2023, when we had interest rates going up from 3.5% to 5%. Well, how'd they get tech stocks to go up when you had rates going up? Tech stocks don't go up with higher rates. Well, they do if you financially engineer the market by creating a pool of money. The Federal Reserve prints money, puts it in a pool, and then instructs their 4 biggest investment banks, like Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Citi, to go, and Wells Fargo, to go in and buy nothing but Microsoft and Apple. And they're doing the same thing now to try to push the market up. If you look at between October 2023, we're at 5.3%, and January 2024, we're at 5.3%. Well, how could we be going up? How could tech stocks be going up? How could that market rally with interest rates going up? When just before that, July 2023, when rates were at 5%, we dropped 10%. So how, when rates are 5%, we go up 15%? That doesn't make any sense. Well, sure, if you do financial engineering. But what I want to make the point is this, that understand that Fed target rate is nothing but a sham. It's to mask what they're doing so you don't catch on. So every time, remember, who controls the Federal Reserve? It's Wall Street. When Wall Street wants markets to rally, they need interest rates to go down. So all they have to say is, oh my God, inflation's going up. We got to get it back to our target of 2%. And people just say, oh, yeah, they're trying to help us. They're trying to get inflation back to 2%. No, they're not. All they're doing is providing for Wall Street a mechanism that they're using that 2% as a target, as a tool to screw everybody. Because using that 2%, everybody accepts it, and that means when they print money and they go buy treasuries to try to bring inflation down, it doesn't happen. So in other words, every time they tell you that they're going to bring inflation back down to 2%, they're not doing it. They're creating inflation. They're not bringing inflation down. And all they're doing is moving the stock market up. In other words, every time they create money to drop those interest rates, they create money to buy treasuries. And when those treasury yields come down, the stock market goes up. When those treasury yields start coming down, the Federal Reserve then takes their short-term rate and drops it to zero. So every time they lie to you and say, look, inflation's going up, it's to help Wall Street. It's to help Wall Street. That's why they use that target. It has nothing to do with inflation. That is a bunch of garbage. It's a lie. It has nothing to do with inflation. It's to keep you off everybody's back. It's to keep you from writing letters to your congressman and say, would you please stop this Federal Reserve? They're killing me. Look at the inflation. It's costing me more for college, for my kids, for food. Because what are they doing? They're lying. Every time they say there's inflation, oh my God, inflation's up. We got to get back to 2%. Let's print money. And we'll print that money, we'll bring inflation down. And printing money brings inflation up, not down. So in 2012, that's why they did that in 2012. You got to ask yourself, why did they wait to 2012? Because remember, from 2008 to 2012, the market, the S&P, was already up 105%. The Qs from 2008 to 2012 was up 146%. To get the market up to 105%, the S&P, and the Qs up to 146% from 2008 to 2012, inflation was going through the roof because they're printing all this money to bring rates down to give for the banks to give that money to corporations to buy their own stock. But everybody thought that was okay. So the rich were getting richer and the poor were getting poorer. That's why they started that in 2012. And what you're going to have tonight, I said you'd have it tomorrow. If you're online and looking at my chart, it shows you what they've done. You can, and you just go to my YouTube channel tonight. Okay, and I'm sorry. It'll be posted by 7 o'clock tonight. You got to see this. It'll show you clearly how they rigged the market, and it will show you why we're going to have the biggest crash. So from 2008, they dropped interest rates to near zero, 0.16, and by the time they got to 2012, interest rates were at 1.4%. Now that makes sense. Interest rates started to go up because, my God, look what they did. They printed all this money to move the S&P up 105%. And the Q's up 146%. So they had to do something. And then by 2019, it was up 2.4%. So see, inflation started to go up because it was that inflation that's pushing up the stock market. When the stock market goes up, that's inflation. That's inflation. So all of a sudden, in May of 2020, what do? Boy, we got inflation. Remember, you had, I think it was either Bernanke, or no, it wasn't Bernanke, I'm sorry. It was either Yellen or Powell at that time came out and said, oh my God, we got this inflation. Remember they said, oh, it's transitory and all that? Well, we got to get this inflation back down to our target of 2%. And look what they did from 2020. They drove those stock market rates. They dropped the rates from 2.4% to 0.05. Zero. So interest rates were at zero from 2020 to 2022. For 2 years, they drove that stock market up like crazy, creating inflation. They only could do that and get away with it by convincing you they are working for you by making sure that they're meeting their inflation target of 2%. They're going to bring it back to 2%. If you ask them, well, how are you going to get a 3%, 4% back to 2%? Well, that's our target. We got to do it. Well, they wouldn't tell you the truth. They're doing stock buybacks. But none of that was helping Main Street. Main Street wasn't growing. Your wages weren't growing. Nothing was going into business investment. Nothing was going into new machinery. So that means you didn't have new jobs being created. In fact, did you see what happened? They finally came out with a report yesterday. 10 of the 9 months of 2023, you know how you get the first Friday every month, we get the job numbers, and they're telling how great jobs are? Well, now we find 9 of the 10 months, or 9 of those Fridays, of 10 Fridays, 9 of the 10 Fridays, what were they doing? They revised the numbers down. They lied about the number, then they come back a month later, 2 months later, and say, we have to revise them down. But nobody's looking at the revision. Everybody sits there in the first Friday of the month with bated breath. What's that number going to be? What's that number going to be? And when they give you the number, nobody does it. They never look at the number again. They don't see them coming in the back door and bringing the number down. They brought the number down by 400,000 jobs. They lied. They put in fake jobs of 400,000. To make it worse, we lost 1.7 million full-time jobs, and we replaced those 1.7 million full-time jobs with 769 part-time, lousy waitress, bartender jobs. Join my gang, Phil's gang.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. Good investing means understanding how the stock market works.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, if you really want to make sense of this market, you can't be listening to the fake Business News Network. They will not tell you the truth. They're to get you excited, to make sure you go out and you're happy so you'll buy something. That's not what we do here at Phil's Gang. We give you the truth, the direction, and that's what you need. Listen to me on my radio show each day and also on my Rumble and YouTube channel podcast. philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, just listen to Phil Grande.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. There's many reasons to listen to a radio show, but I think to listen to my show, you get the truth, you get clarity, and you get great information.
No matter what level of investor you are, Phil's Gang strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success.
You know what? Most of all, it's fun. philsgang.com. Clarity, good information, and fun.
I believe that every single human being with a laptop computer and an internet connection should be required to give trading at least a shot.
Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life.
I believe that every educated individual on planet Earth.
I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents.
Should do this. It's not for every single human being on Earth. I know this, but it's one of those things that you should try, because if you happen to get it right, if you happen to be one of the ones that this is for.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grande.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free.
What's in front of you is a life of incredible joy, freedom, and independence.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, I've been doing this business of trading over 55 years. God, they make it so complicated. It doesn't have to be. The best way to learn is to follow me, my actual investments. That's right. When I buy a stock, you follow me. Do exactly what I do. That's the best way to learn.
Check out the free 10-day trial. Learn more at philsgang.com.
Be my co-pilot at philsgang.com. Do what I do.
That's philsgang.com. When you listen to the advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard. Things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, you know, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good, we consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up or why there's continued inflation or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand, especially yields. The most important thing to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grande. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. By 7 o'clock tonight, I'm going to have posted on my YouTube channel my chart. And when you go to that chart, and the explanation I'm going to give you now, and you go along with my explanation on that chart, you're going to be 100% saying this market's going to crash. Okay, so if you start at 2008, the market went up to 2022, 550% on the S&P, 1,200% on the NASDAQ. How did it do that? They had to bring rates down. Remember, rates down moves tech stocks. Tech stocks drove the entire S&P. Understand that. The S&P, the magnificent 7 stocks that are part of the S&P, these 7 stocks contribute 30% of the S&P. The 24% profit that we made in the S&P this year, 70% of the profit came from 7 stocks. 494 other stocks didn't participate. The market went up 590% on the S&P, 1,200% on the NASDAQ without earnings. In 2012, they were getting nervous because the way they could rig the market to go up is to keep on printing money, which is very inflationary to keep rates down. By buying treasuries, they could move those rates down. They got nervous in 2012 because they all of a sudden thought they were going to get caught. The people say, wait, what's going on here? How come everything's getting more expensive? Inflation's going up. The only ones that are making money is Wall Street because the stock market keeps going up. I'm not benefiting at all. And they lied to me. They said, if we take care of the rich and we do this program QE, all that money would dribble down to us, the folks on Main Street. We'd get great jobs. Our standard of living would go up. It was a bold-faced lie from Obama and Bernanke. They didn't intend to do that. 2012, they got nervous. So what did they do? Hey, let's go and adopt the target of 2%. If every time inflation goes up to peak, as we keep pushing this market up, nobody's going to question us because we're going to say, oh, the inflation is caused by you and all your spending because you know how you hear all the time how the job market's strong and wages are strong? Because it's your job market so strong, wages so strong, you're doing so much spending, you're causing the inflation. That's first of all, that's what they do. They blame you. Then they're saying, well, in 2012, we better go and let's take that target, and we'll adopt it at 2%. And then that way, every time Wall Street wants us to push the stock market up, we can use the excuse we need lower rates. Because how did Wall Street push the stock market up? They need lower rates for their stocks to go up. So they would say, oh my God, inflation's going up. We've got to get it back to our target. So they print money, they do QE, buy treasuries, markets, the banks that would loan money to the companies, free, zero, and they go buy their own stocks. So that's how they got away with it. And then in 2022, look at that. 0.16 to 0.8. Then inflation was getting ahead of itself. All of a sudden, the rates shot up from 0.8 to 3.8. The market dropped from January 2022 to October 2022, 25%. Uh-oh, because inflation's taking over. So now they got to rally the market. So now with rates going from 0.8, let's say 0, to almost 4% between January 2022 and October 2022, the market went down. So now they say, we got to get this market up. So they ran the market up from nearly 4% up, or 3.8% in October 2022 to July 2023, 5.1%. Now, wait a minute. How could the market go from interest rates, how could the market rally 28% from October 2022 to July 2023 when interest rates went from 3.8% to 5%? And the tech stocks were leading. How could that be? That's because when the interest rates goes up, the market just went down from 2022 to October 2022. The market went down because interest rates were going up. And now the market's going up, even though interest rates are going up. Then the market drops in 2023 because the rates are at 5%. So the market drops back to October 2023, 10%, because rates were at 5%. But then they turned around and ran the market up with rates of 5% from that October 2023 to where we are today at 5%. So how did the market rally 15% from October 2023 to 2024 January when rates were at 5%, but the market dropped 10% when the rates were at 5% from July 2023 to October 2023? Are you kidding? So let's see. The market dropped when rates went up 5%, but then they rallied the market when the rates went up 5%. How'd they do that? Well, from 2022 to July, what did they do? They created a pool of money, the Federal Reserve. They told the four biggest banks to go in and buy just nothing but Microsoft and Apple. And that's how they pushed the market up with high rates, because tech stocks go down with high rates. They did the same thing from 2023 October to where we are today, because rates were at 5%, the short-term rate. They did the same thing. They created a pool, and there was three stocks, Microsoft, Apple, and I forgot what the other one. I don't know if it was NVIDIA or another one. Did the same thing. They created the money, put the pool together. They contacted the Fed, who owns the biggest banks, said go in there and buy Microsoft, Apple, and there was one more. That's how they ran the market. So now we're at 5%. Interest rates are at 5%. And every time the long-term rate, the 10-year, every time they try to push it down below 4%, it goes right back up. So now here they are trying to push the market up again. They're trying to push the market up again to try to get ahead of that high of 481 in January 2022. That was the high. They have not been able to get to that high. And they're using tech stocks, the tech stocks who hate high rates. So what we've been doing at Phil's Gang, we've been buying the banks. And we're doing terrific with the banks. Our banks are 15, 20% because they enjoy high rates. They're supposed to go up when rates are going up. They're safe. But when you're chasing these tech stocks and tech stocks are rallying when rates are going up, that's pure speculation. Unless you know what you're doing, you could wake up one morning and you could see the tech stocks down 500-600 points. Be very careful chasing these tech stocks where we are now with high interest rates. Tech stocks do not enjoy high interest rates. It's like cancer. It's like stage 4 cancer. So the whole bottom line is, please go to my site tonight, philsgang.com, my YouTube channel, and when you look at that explanation with the chart in front of you, you're going to say, wait a minute, something's wrong here. How in the hell did the market drop with interest rates at 5%, which makes sense, from July 2023 to October 2023, I get that. Rates are up, market goes down. But wait a minute, the same 5%, how did they rally it back up 15%? You can't have it both ways. Rates up, market's down. Rates up, market goes up. What the hell? And then you go back from October 2022 to January 2023. Rates are up, market's going up. What? So you got two parts of that chart that show you how they've been manipulating the market and what's creating the inflation. So again, when you hear that target rate, we got to get inflation down to 2%. They're doing that for one reason only, to move the stock market up for Wall Street. It's a tool for Wall Street to become wealthier than they already are. That's what it's for. Otherwise, why did they wait to 2012? New Zealand and all these other countries had it in the 1980s and the 1990s. Think about it. They had the Fed target rate, all these countries, in the late 80s, all through the 90s, and we waited to 2012. Why would you do that? Because you're going to use it as a tool to make the market go up without having earnings, creating one of the biggest bubbles in history. Join my gang. It won't make any difference to you. The markets are up, the markets are down. If they're cheating, it doesn't matter. You'll always be on the right side of the market with us. You'll follow my portfolio of 6 stocks and about another 10 bonus stocks. My whole team here will be helping you, telling you when to buy, when not to buy, when to add. We'll guide you. And it's free for 10 days. Check it out. So next time you hit, boy, we got to bring that target rate down. You know the market's going to move down.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.